What is up, guys? It is Coaster Watch here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys your long-awaited review of Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. And I had the privilege to visit this park during Coaster Mania weekend, that is from May 31st through June 3rd of this past 2018. And I gotta say right off the bat, this is the best park that I've been to. There's so much controversy and so many, just so much buzz revolving around this park. It is absolutely unreal how much this park is talked about. It is one of the most visited parks in the world. It is one of the greatest amusement parks in the world, and I think this park is most well known for their roller coasters. They have 17, 19 if you're a credit whore. Just has one of the greatest coaster collections on the planet. That is what this park is most known for, all of their thrills. But that's not the only thing that this park has. This park also has some really charming aspects to it that I think a lot of people seem to overlook. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's begin this review. So this park is located on a peninsula in Lake Erie. That means you have to take a causeway to come out to this park. You can see all the roller coasters from a distance, and it is absolutely breathtaking. If you have just kind of have the same childhood memories of this park that I have, I would watch POVs of this park constantly, and I've wanted to visit here for 8 years. So finally being able to see that in person and going through that causeway in person really changed my life. I think that was something great in my life that happened. That's something that changed me as a person and as a coaster enthusiast especially. And if you are staying here for the first time, I cannot stress this enough. You have to stay for 2 days. Some people say you can get Fast Lane Plus and stay for 1 day. Yes, you can finish it, but you need a lot of time to take this park in because there's just so much going on. There's always so much to do at this park. You really need more time to take it in, and I recommend you stay on one of the hotels on site, such as Lighthouse Point, or I stayed, which is Hotel Breakers. That is an awesome, amazing hotel. But anyways, let's get more in depth to the park itself. So talking about the roller coasters, there's not even a whole lot to say about the roller coasters. You guys already know, whether you think they're overrated or not, you have to admit this park has one of the best coaster collections on the planet. I mean, you have freaking Steel Vengeance, which everyone buzzes and raves about. You need to look up Steel Vengeance if you don't know what that is. There's also Maverick, Millennium Force, some other revolutionary roller coasters like Magnum XL 200, Gemini, Corkscrew. This park has a lot of coasters that really, really just paved the way for the amusement industry, and especially Millennium Force and especially Magnum XL 200. Those two coasters really pushed the coaster wars. Without those two coasters, I don't really know that we'd be here where we're at today. But anyways, like I said, whether you like it or not, you have to admit this coaster collection is pretty amazing. That's not the only thing this park has to offer, though. This park has over 70 different attractions and rides throughout the park. This place has a really unique carousel. This park has 2 carousels. It's pretty cool. This park has so many different kiddie attractions and so many different flat rides. Talk about Max Air, talk about Skyhawk, Power Tower, which is an alright drop tower. Now, in my opinion, they could have some better flat rides because their flat rides do not really live up to their coaster lineup, in my opinion. If they had some more flat rides, I'd kind of like their flat ride collection better. But overall, it works for an amusement park. I'd say it's about average when it comes to the larger amusement parks in the United States. Not a big fan of their drop tower, but everything else is actually really, really good in my opinion. But when it comes to these family rides, and especially these transport rides, I really, really like their Sky Ride, and I also really like their train that runs through Frontier Town. Speaking of Frontier Town, let's talk about this park's atmosphere. The very front area of the park and kind of the back, near Cedar Point Boardwalk, that's all really, really modern and kind of like an amusement park feel. Talking about the atmosphere when it comes to their hotels is incredible. A lot of it's modern, but then some of it's really, really old and vintage. Some of their areas on Cedar Point Boardwalk and the beach, it just looks really, really nice. I really, really love those areas. The front of the park is alright. The very front entrance with Gatekeeper looks really, really neat. Some of the other areas of the park just look okay. But my favorite areas of the park to look at is Frontier Town, especially on that train that runs through the park. It is just so cool. like just all these like skeletons and stuff like that. It's kind of like an entertainment sort of thing. I mean, I don't really know, but I really personally do enjoy Frontier Town. A lot of this park's atmosphere has to do with this park's history. This park is one of the oldest amusement parks running in the world. And a lot of this park's beauty just kind of revolves around that kind of like feeling. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's just like it runs off of its own vibe. It doesn't create its own vibe, but it runs off of its own history, if you know what I'm saying. But it's just a lot of like revolutionary, innovative sort of things. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just something that I got from this park. But I mean, the front area just looks like a typical amusement park, but when it comes to Frontier Town, it looks like, I guess, above average. It's not really Disney or Universal, nowhere near that, but I'd say it's good when it comes to trying to stand up to their actual physical ride collection. And there's also some really bad things about this park. I hate this park's food. It made me want to throw up. Stick to the chains. Just please stick to Panda Express, Chick-fil-A, Chicky and Pete's. Also try Midway Snacks. They have cheese on a stick there. Cheese on a stick was definitely interesting if you haven't seen my vlog. Definitely check that out. But, I mean, when it comes to the food here isn't really all that great. And also, one thing that I don't like is just, like, all these rides downtime. Like, this park has some amazing staff and some amazing operations. Like, I'm not going to lie, this park had some fantastic operations, in my opinion. However, this park just had way too many coasters with way too much downtime. Gatekeeper was down. Like, a lot of these coasters were down more often than they were actually running. Like, I witnessed Blue Streak get stuck twice. Windseeker was not running. Windseeker I've only seen run like 3 times during my visit. Millennium Force got stuck. I heard Dragster rolled back. Dragster was down. It's kind of sad when Dragster was running more than a lot of this park's B&Ms. Like, Valraven and Gatekeeper were down for a lot of the visit. That's just one of the things that kind of irks me about this park. And especially Gemini. I missed the blue side of Gemini because it was only running in the mornings, and then like after like 12 o'clock it would just close. Like, maybe that's because low attendance, they're trying to save power or whatever, but I don't know. That's just something that kind of irked me because I never got that credit because of how much it was down. That's just another thing that I think this park needs to take care of. Also, the bugs. Just beware of the bugs. They can't really do a whole lot of that. Maybe spray like gallons of insecticide all over the park, but I mean, that's not really going to solve anything because these bugs are coming because this park is located on a peninsula. There's nothing they can do about that. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about this park. It just definitely changed my life. This park has, I think, 5 of their roller coasters in my top 10, and I believe 7 or 8 of their rides, maybe even 9, are in my top 25. This park's coaster lineup is just crazy. This park has some of my new favorite flat rides. Skyhawk is definitely up there. Overall, I think Cedar Point is one of the most special parks in the world, and there's a lot of buzz regarding whether this is the best park in the world or not. I'm going to say no. For now, I'm going to say no. Until I visit Tokyo Disney Sea, or Disney Tokyo Sea, or whatever it's called, Europa Park, and Leesburg, or even some other small parks like Gronelund, and maybe even Knoebels, guys. Until I visit parks like that, I'm not going to say whether or not Cedar Point is the best park in the world. But as of where it stands right now, I don't think it personally is. So, for its final score, I am going to be giving Cedar Point a 9.7 out of 10. Oh my gosh. You guys are really going to kill me for that score. But I just think some of those things like food, I was actually throwing up at 3 a.m. from this park's food. And also, I don't know, guys. I just think there's some things that this park needs to get better control of, such as the ride's downtime. Like, that's just one thing that really irked me. But this park definitely is not perfect. But if you kind of just ignore some of those things, if you just ignore some of those bad things about the park, I think you can easily say that this is the best park you have ever visited. And I think this is definitely one of the greatest amusement parks in the world. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more content. And as always, I'll see you all later. Peace out.